are these? Have you signed these people on with this union?
Well, they certainly seem interested in the company, Joseph.
Interested is a strong word.
Well, two of them. The
I'm
assassin,
interested.
I don't know why she's here, but
I mean, you.
Okay, honestly, the rest of you are interesting. It's the sun worshipper I have issues with.
I have issues. Tried to stab me in the back twice.
4 times.
I think that makes it any better.
Yes.
Union will distract Rare
With.
With what? You're cutting out a lot.
I mean, if it helps with your decision, him and his god really don't communicate very often.
Man, did someone
I'm
turn
not
the
sure if
did
that's
someone
better.
turn the sun off again? Because that was a lot of shade.
That was... Believe me, there's been a talk that's been brewing between me and Union for a long time about the level of commitment that he's given to this deity that basically won't return his phone calls and
Any day now, Joseph, any day.
but at the same time he's got this other uh patron, we might say,
Joseph?
that is willing to grant him
Joseph?
an audience anytime he wants to.
Joseph?
Oh, he's got 2 gods, huh?
No, 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 no.
Who's your
Hmm.
other
Can
one?
you really trust a lich?
You only said Lathander, so
Come down here. We have pastries. Oh god. Ideal just wasted a sending spell to do that.
You only get 1 call every like 10 years.
Rare as one of the last ones in the door, you see a hobbling figure starting to scoot her way through the door frame. The rest of you recognize this as Grandma, who seems really
Grandma.
confused that there's a very rambunctious crowd in the common room.
She's not used to that yet.
is she the dragon?
Functions?
I was about to ask, are you the dragon lady? We've been told so much about.
I don't think so.
That's exactly what a dragon would say.
Mm-hmm.
Who's in the kitchen?
I think it was a small one.
Dinah?
I thought it was you, Grandma.
Oh, no, I had some errands to run. I stopped to talk with a sweet old man.
But
He was very nice.
is Megan on duty? She be in the kitchen?
I could have sworn she was staying home with her family today, but
I'm gonna go look in the kitchen.
Union will follow very close.
you find that indeed Megan is in the kitchen.
Who are you?
Who are you? Oh, it's Megan. Sorry. Sorry for disturbing
Oh,
you.
yeah. As the tricorn is the first one through the door, there is a loud scream in response to the "Who are you?" and you know what? We're gonna open roll the improved weapon attack as she throws an onion at you.
Yes. Skillet.
I have a feeling an 11 does not beat your AC.
That misses.
As the onion goes flying past you and avoids hitting Union. As you startle the teenage girl. There's a brief moment where you're kind of happy that the knife was in her less dominant hand.
It's good.
Union is. Who's this?
I'm gonna make myself look like Union. Exactly the same as him.
She grabs the knife with both hands and starts doing the like back and forth.
Megan, I am Union. This is rare.
Megan, I am Union. This is rare.
This is a parrot that was transformed into a person. I am dealing with it. And Union's gonna like gently put hands on Rare's shoulders to
The
attempt to, like,
6'5"
pivot them
Union.
out.
I'm 6'7" now. Just being a little bit taller than Union. I don't know how tall Union is, but I'm even taller.
He's up there, but you're definitely a little taller.
Help!
And then I'll leave her alone.
Help.
Yeah,
Go back to the bedroom.
I'd scream like a little child, but my roommates are sleeping and microphone. But you'd hear the scream of a teenage girl screaming for help from the kitchen.
Union! She doesn't want to hear about the thunder.
Okay, I'll leave then.
Union's just gonna hold up a
Let her finish dinner.
dinner. It's 7 in the morning.
How long do you think
you-
a stew takes?
Union will just like hold up his hand in like a pacifying gesture and back out of the kitchen. Sorry,
It's
we're
not
sorry.
7 in the morning anymore, right?
It's
'Cause
not
I
7 in the
just
morning.
like walking around all day.
We stretched their morning conversation to
Right.
get the crowd all in scene together.
Okay. Because if it's 7 in the morning and the sun is almost setting, we have some issues.
God
From,
damn it! Not again!
No, we just shift. It just changed the clocks.
Are these all your friends? Looking at some of the new faces.
Hi, I'm Red.
Acquaintances.
I'm his new best friend.
That's good. He needs friends.
He's pretty lonely.
Excuse me. I have plenty of friends.
You could always use more.
That is true, Grandma.
Hey, help yourself to some pastries. I think they're banana today.
I love banana. Union goes. B and C.
Especially you. And she points at Joe. You need to get some skin back on your bones. She waddles to the kitchen.
Do you have some back there?
She doesn't respond. But at that point, you have the common room to yourself.
I must sit down.
Yes. So, with our new people here, are we just to clarify, we are adding all of these to our current adventuring party?
Well, if they want to travel with us, I suppose they
That is
can.
exactly what I want.
Yes. I just want to make sure because, before we leave town, we're going to have to file the proper paperwork for.
We should probably make sure they're actually skilled. I know that she is not too successful assassin. But just
Just wait till it's
shoulders.
night.
It would never be
Are
night.
you are
if
you
I have my
incapable
say.
of working during the days? That might be an issue.
Not incapable. It's just difficult.
The attempted assassination, also is a point against.
Hmm.
But, Master, not Kotak, what is it are your skill?
I am but a musician and a tinkerer.
That's wonderful.
Do you need holding something warm? A metal?
He's probably wearing metal.
He's a paladin.
I will hum a little song and Union's armor will get quite warm.
Well, sort of. Smite you. You're heating metal.
Yes.
Does this affect my black dragon scale armor?
Double check the wording real quick. But I
Of the
think
spell
it
or the armor?
does. Both.
Well, here's the spell.
Because I don't think scales are metal.
As I whisper it
There's
to
probably
myself.
like
Great.
buckles and such, and he has a great sword.
Oh, true.
Just doing it enough to show off.
Yeah,
that-
manufactured metal object. So.
Yeah.
Although, if you made scales into armor, that would be technically manufactured,
Correct.
right?
But
not
I'm
metal.
double check.
Oh, I know.
Specifically,
I'm not saying they're metal. I'm just saying, just because you make something out of a creature, doesn't mean it's not manufactured.
Yeah. So it does not have an effect upon his armor.
Then,
Union just glowers.
but I could do things like that.
And you, Master Rare, beside your abilities to shape shift, what other skills you possess?
Oh man, I have a lot of skills. I can cook. I know how to cook. I can speak in common and a couple other languages. I'm pretty good at unlocking things if you give me enough time. Um,
Are you a thief or are you a sneaky?
I never tell a
individual?
lie. I've never told a lie in my life.
Right.
I'm pretty good at talking people into doing things. I've stolen a couple things. I'm pretty good at cards. Verkus knows that. I destroy him cards.
Under his breath, knows how to cheat.
I have Luton. He's my little raven. He's somewhere in here. He's probably invisible. Don't worry about him. He's harmless. And he only talks to me anyway. Pretty quick on my feet. I've stabbed at least one person.
So you're some kind of rogue, perhaps?
I don't know what that means.
Are you so sure about the all-knowing common?
Well, you guys have weird words for things. It's not my fault. You guys speak common wrong.
Where are you from again?
Not here.
Quite.
To be fair, I'm not sure Union's actually proficient in common.
No, it says it on this thing. It's
I
very
think
big.
someone else had to put that there for him. He doesn't know it entirely.
No, I was part of a group of not mercenaries. What's the other word? Nomads. Yeah. Traveling around, doing our thing. What was the question?
Why we should bring you on a potentially dangerous venture?
Oh, Sorry, 1 second. I just think you should, bring me along. I like exploring. You need someone to come along, and yeah.
What do you think, Joseph? I admire the enthusiasm, but
Give me 1
sent you a
second.
DM, Matt.
Yeah, I'm working
Okay,
on it.
just make sure.
I think this pretty much sums it up.
I mean, can you really afford to be picky? You're not exactly a attractive personality.
I'm
You-
very attractive.
Not you.
you literally tried to stab me yesterday.
And I
That-
mean, we literally just saved the world. I'm sure lots of people would
Yes,
be willing
we are the heroes
to
of
work with
Ilhern.
us.
Then why isn't there a line?
We've not advertised.
Because I think we're quite intimidating as well.
Okay, you know what, Union?
We
Go
have a
out into the
reputation.
street. Just out there into the world and say you're recruiting. I want to see. How many
Why
come?
don't you go to that? Except there's a big scary.
I'm not a hero!
That is quite.
I also know a little bit of magic, but not too much. Just whatever my boss decides to give me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm good.
Oh,
and
correction.
Perhaps I will.
Correction. This is I had to double check certain numbers because someone didn't include them in their message. Union, you can find no sound reason to turn this handsome, androgynous face away. It seems like a reasonable course of action.
Well, does he make a point? It's not a crime to want to see the world.
It depends on why you want to see the world. It could be a crime.
It being a crime wouldn't stop me anyway.
Yeah, but I mean, yeah, I was gonna point that out as well. I mean, just because she might be committing a crime doesn't automatically rule out her possible participation.
Oh,
Also,
I'm also
we're
pretty
not
sneaky.
criminals.
That's another thing. I'm pretty sneaky. I used to have to sneak around my family to
Well.
make sure I get food, so I'm pretty good at sneaking.
I will point out also, Union, we do need to leave rather quickly. We don't really have time for a lengthy recruiting this time.
I suppose I have no problems with Rare, and I suppose the musician is fine, but the drow tried to stab me.
If we automatically ruled out anyone who ever tried to stab you,
I also point out the lady assigned the drow to y'all.
Oh, so she has to come with us.
What's your name, Miss Stabby?
Wait, Nate?
Yeah.
she assigned her for a
Yes.
specific reason. I mean, I know she did, but just reminding me.
Not one that was given to the lot of you, but one that was given to Vivian. Basically,
I was given a reason.
yeah, keep an eye on them.
Oh, okay.
Keep an eye on us.
Mm-hmm.
That's reasonable.
I think she also said it would be funny, to be fair.
Yes, and it would amuse me.
I can understand that, being that we're probably going to be working most of the time during the day.
Wow.
I'm just saying, if she's gonna send somebody on us to keep an eye on us, I'd rather it be a drow. Especially
Right.
with all the work we've done to bring back the sun. that was all out of character, by the way. Just but the
Well, my
point
name is
is,
Vivian.
yeah, Vivian. Okay.
Hi, Vivian.
And
I'm
since
Rare.
you're coming with us, can you tell us what services we can expect?
Services.
Yes. Do you cast magic? Are you good at stabbing people?
Well, when the sun isn't just melting my eyes, I am very good at stabbing, killing, using this weapon. I pull out the double-bladed scimitar.
Right?
Ooh, that's nice.
I'm a pretty decent bodyguard.
Double-bladed scimitar. That's an interesting weapon.
Yeah, it's not just for any common folk to use.
I agree. It's a unique weapon.
And small bits of magic, but really nothing exciting.
That's a nice sword too, Rare. I'm sure it can cause serious injuries if you hit somebody with that.
I found it in the mud.
I don't think that's mud.
It's even better than.
I'm gonna say,
Mhm.
biological weapon?
That's what I was pointing out. But I mean, a rusted, horrible-looking sword that's
Uh-huh.
covered in. I'm pretty sure whole military campaigns were based off of that.
Uh,
Dancing lights.
Magic's kind of frowned upon where I'm from, you know?
Really?
You from?
The Underdark? You know, the place where the sun doesn't shine?
Yeah,
That explains the name.
but I would imagine magic is needed to survive decently there.
Well, I mean, faith casting is perfectly acceptable, but anything else, not so much.
Got it.
Well, it sounds like we could go ahead and file the paperwork. As this being our current group with the guild.
It's already working on the
Yes.
restful music for the evening there, Vivian.
Yep.
One by one, these people just start dying in the night. It's so weird.
I suppose we can from these latest batch of fruits.
Oh, that does remind me. I have one request. Don't touch me.
Mm,
Okay.
That's all.
What if it's needed for healing?
Ah, good question.
Man, good question. Still don't?
I cannot.
I will do
guarantee
my
that.
best.
no healing. Understood.
I can't promise that I won't immediately stab you if you do.
Well, if you're unconscious,
That's just being disrespectful.
Don't touch
It's.
unconscious
I'm
people,
sure it
Zoltar.
will be
or
fine.
healing.
Just use your words.
I see what you did there.
I get it. Oh, I can also, like, make fire do stuff. Or clean myself with magic. That's another thing I can do.
Mm-hmm. It's pretty common.
Not where I come from.
But really, if you actually want me to be uh, more than competent, it would be advisable to, travel when it's dark. But I
We
mean,
would
you guys are
get
the leaders here.
The rest of us might get less than competent.
I mean, I'm fine with working in the dark. Probably work better in the dark.
Or the seeing thing.
What? An elf can't see in the dark?
I'm staring at the tiefling.
You're an elf?
Yes?
Wow.
Blink, blink. About this
Also,
time,
no, I love it how Drow can summon lights.
specifically dim lights, sir.
It's only sunlight that really hurts, but yeah.
Because it remind you, dark vision doesn't give you color.
Exactly.
Dim light does.
But about this time, Grandma comes sidling out, carrying one of the little serving trays. And slides it onto the sort of communal table that has sort of become the party's go-to.
Thank you, Grandma.
Will you be here for the rest of the week?
No, I don't believe so, Grandma. We're plotting unit Joseph. Perhaps today? Or very
Already?
soon, I think. The work of heroes is never done, Grandma. I have an important mission you with.
There's a sudden like semi pouty face on her. Oh, that's true, I guess. Wait, will you be back by within a fortnight then?
I cannot say, Grandma. I do apologize.
Oh, well then, and you can tell she's trying real hard to be quiet. Just make sure to wish little Megan a happy birthday then.
Of course. Indians pull out coin, slip 10 gold to Grandma's hand. Here, get her something nice from me, okay?
She looks at you with her cloudy eyes, like, "The fuck is you doing? I got boy, if you don't go buy this girl again, let me go do your shopping for you." She presses the money back in your palm. It would mean a lot if the few of you bringing such joy here would make a personal attempt, if you don't mind.
Of course. Of course. We will get right on that. What are some of her interests?
Oh, most of what we talk about is keeping the inn running and see genetics. Um, she's becoming quite the cook. But and, like like roomy eyes move back between the glowing figure that she's come to associate, like the glow being Joe, and just the white blob to be Union. Um, I wouldn't press so heavily, but if you could try and bring some cheer. Her father's not doing so well.
We could send for a healer. We could pay for treatment.
That's beyond me. My good lad. Um, or the paladin, good paladin. Goes to lay on hands and said, smites the old man.
Rebuke you, sinner. You're the gambler problem.
But we don't know the cause, but he's fading fast. That's why she was here today. She couldn't bear to be in the house with him.
Well, I
Just
Union will stand. I will go see him at once. I know something healing. If it is beyond my skills, I will find a healer for it.
there's one little grandma tear. Please, I know it would mean so much to me. I know it would mean so much to her. I understand you guys are so very busy.
I will make the time. Where is his home, Grandma?
Um, she like finds herself looking towards the floor as if trying to draw the memory. Uh, eyes begin to quiver, and you're fairly sure she's on the verge of like frustrated tears. I don't remember. I know it wasn't far.
What if I go back and ask Megan where it is?
I mean, she would be most capable of her finding her own address. Like I would think. Why can't I remember? It was just that the other day. I'm so sorry. What were we talking about?
Don't worry about his grandma. I will see to it.
Oh, I'm not out of pastries again, am I? I'm sorry. I'll be right back. She slowly begins to shuffle off to the kitchen.
Union will look back at the party. Well, seems I have something to do before we can leave.
I mean, I wonder if that child's birthday is actually happening. Woman seems out of it.
I will not hear a bad word against grandmother.
Well, you just did.
I will ask that you mind your tongue, Vivian.
She looks like a human. How is she your grandma?
Think of it as a title, rare. She's all of it.
You give family connection titles to random people?
She is a kind and caring woman.
You guys are weird.
Perhaps, but it works for us.
So, what would you like to do?
Joseph, can you looks around at the rest. You see or at least direct where the proper paperwork and whatnot could be filled out. There aren't any demerits if we are adventuring with non-folk.
Yeah, it'll be filled.
Isn't the Adventurers Guild kind of not there right now?
Even more reason to make sure that we keep track of our current party members.
Are you sure there's
Officially.
people to do paperwork?
Are we?
There's always there's always people to do paperwork.
This is not the administratum. Wrong
I'm
setting.
sure I'm sure if there's people willing to pay us to retrieve these items, I'm sure there's also people that want to keep track of the people who they hired to.
Oh, I'd much rather not be tracked.
Well, I mean, technically, you're being hired by someone else to come along. We don't have to list you.
That's fine by me.
Very well. Seems I have a house call to pay. Before we can depart. Hoping that will not take long.
So, out of character, real quick, does that mean we're only paying one?
Yeah, officially speaking, one other party member.
One of the party
Yeah.
member?
Joe is in paradise right now.
Well, to be perfectly fair, we really haven't paid any of our party members so far.
They keep getting other business opportunities or getting dead.
I mean, I can say that the entire time Kotark was around, not a cougher.
I mean, it wasn't necessarily intended, but there's a reason why I have not changed our party funds in I don't know how long. Yeah.
I still
I
want
mean,
to sign
we
up and be
haven't
one of
really
them.
had a chance.
I can tell you this much: the last time I changed our party funds, the sun was up.
Well,
Sorry, way to
To be
describe it.
fair, not a lot of things to buy when the world's ending.
That was what I was saying. Didn't really have a chance.
But
Mhm.
Union, how do you want to go about your house call?
am I able to get the address from Megan?
So you would like to talk to her?
Grandma wasn't exactly super helpful in giving a location, and it's probably easier than just like knocking on the door. I am unioning. Hello, do you have a sick person that I can like touch with my magic hands? Every door in town.
Phrasing.
Exactly.
But when you step back, Grandma is in the midst of beginning to work some dough. Megan looking at her, very confused. And she kind of squints at you. Which one are you?
I am union. I'm the real one.
She pokes you.
Union poked.
Is everything okay? She came back here with something about needing to make we just put pastries out. You didn't eat them all already, did you? You glutton.
I agree. I've not eaten all, although they are excellent as always.
She was
sort of
saying they were
lowers his
out.
voice.
Pardon?
He lowers his voice. Is Grandma okay? Seems a little confused.
she'd been like this since she came in this afternoon. She told me the recipe for the stew backwards after I had already made it.
And this might sound like an odd question, but how is your father?
My-
Is he alright?
There's
Was
like a gut punch sort of look on her face. My father's been dead for several years now.
Ah.
He and Grandma were they were very close, but
Grandma said he was sick. Asked if I might tend to some of my magics. I was going to ask where you lived so I could go see him. It does not sound like that's an option. My condolences. God bless.
Union, I'm scared. She
I
wasn't like this yesterday.
Yes, I Union will turn to Grandma.
As you turn to Grandma, she's currently staring at what looks like two separate containers, neither of which are labeled, both of which have white powder, as she is staring intently, mumbling to herself, sugar, salt, back and forth.
Grandma, are
Uh,
you alright?
Hello, Union. When did you get here?
Grandma,
We'll have the
we
pastries out soon.
Grandma, you already brought the pastries out.
Huh, what do you mean? I'm still making them, silly.
No, Grandma, they're already out. Grandma, are you feeling alright?
Oh, I'm feeling quite well. I met quite the lovely young gentleman on my way in today. Oh, he was so sweet.
Who, Grandma, you meet?
There's an attempted, like, childish blush. Oh, well, he was very dashing. He said his name was Reginald. Drove a carriage. Oh, he was such a delight.
Reg?
You hear Megan in the background going, "No, no."
Union.
Look, bruh, I had to think of a carriage driver. That's the name that came to mind. Fuck you, Reginald's here. Well, was here.
Union will turn to Megan and just sort of raise an eyebrow with the name.
She points to to a portrait hanging on the kitchen wall of an elderly couple.
Grandma's husband?
Grandma's a widow.
Right.
Shoot him.
Vivian! Something clearly happened to him, to Grandma. She might have cursed? I don't know. This is quite within my abilities to correct.
So, as Grandma seems like kind of feel like the conversation is not directed at her anymore, turns and it begins to take a big old scoop. Megan goes, "Grandma, that's the salt. She. Oh yeah. Silly me. I'm sorry. You see on the back of her neck, caked blood.
Grandma. Union will take a step over and gently put a hand on her shoulder. Are you
Ah,
hurt?
hell, the vampire's back. The conclusions, I love it. Getting closer, you can tell she probably fell and cracked her head pretty good some point throughout the day.
Oh,
It's a gnarly crack.
Violet, Thandar Union's you lay on hands into Grandma.
The wound heals. She feels a little tingle. Oh, fancy that. Are you here to help with the pastries?
No, Grandma, it's me. I'm Union.
Well, I know that's silly.
Are you feeling better?
Well, I'm quite alright. Is something the matter? You're looking at me quite terse.
Grandma, you've been not well. You didn't know how to make stew, and we're talking about deceased people. Seems like you had a fall.
I don't remember falling.
Did you remember leading up to that? Were you someone, Grandma?
I'm sorry, you cut out.
Did someone push you, Grandma?
No one pushes me.
Right.
What do you mean? I feel quite well, thank you. Talking about the deceased, after everything that just happened.
Well, you seem to be better. Maybe you should take the rest of the day off, Grandma. Just lay down and get some rest.
And who's gonna finish the pastries?
Megan will, I'm sure.
Absolutely, Grandma. Please, I would love to. I've been wanting to practice. I mean, please, you work yourself hard enough. Go ahead and roll a advantaged persuasion, Union.
Sweet.
As Megan is using the help action. You can practice right here next to me, young lady. We need to get this done. Union, please. Go rest. We will have. I understand you need your breakfast, but please go and rest with your friends.
Union gives Megan a sort of concerned look, but allows himself to be shimmied out of the kitchen, back in the common.
Meanwhile, there's a pastry conversation going on.
No, there's not a pastry conversation.
Oh, excuse me, a baked goods conversation.
We-
That was a misclick.
None of the things we are talking about are pastries.
So, what is the difference between a pastry and these? Do they taste different?
These are muffins.
That didn't answer my question, but thank you.
Yeah. The pastries they serve here, and I put the quotations up because nobody can see my fingers. I've always been muffins.
Do they taste different?
They taste like muffins. but they're not pastry. A muffin is not a pastry.
Okay, so I'll have to try a pastry sometime then.
I just want to point out, I'm totally going to bring this up with my pastry chef when I go in tomorrow.
It's not a pastry.
Okay.
Hold up the Wikipedia page for pastry.
Yeah, because Wikipedia is always accurate.
Gentlemen. So anyhow, that's what you walk
No,
back in.
no,
That's what you walk
it's
into, Union.
agreeing with you, Scorgan.
I'm just saying it's not a reliable source. I won't accept that as a definitive argument, even if it supports me.
Well, I am amending my plans. I do not think there's a man in need of healing.
So we have to go get signed up for the Adventures Guild then? 'Cause that sounds fun. Never been an adventurer before.
I would say it's an adventure, but I'd be lying.
I think it's an adventure. It's going someplace I haven't gone before. It's pretty adventurous.
It's true.
I mean, paperwork is only an adventure for certain types.
I guess that makes sense.
So with the sun not too far away from setting, the intent is to try and get the I's dotted and T's crossed on official membership for the tag-alongs under the guidance of Joe.
So.
As,
Yeah, I mean, if,
as like an emotionally defeated Union walks in, everyone's just like, pastries, not muffins.
Union would stay at Grandma's at least for a little bit, just to make sure everything looks right. But barring any catastrophes befalling Grandma, would eventually go and catch up with the party. Adventure
Okay.
Guild.
Yeah, so I guess while they're getting signed up and all that, swearing their oaths and all that, would if there is anything to do to prepare to go, like, are we getting a boat or what is it?
We had
We
a
will-
plan. I just forgot what it was.
We okay. The plan that we had came up with previously was we were going to make our way to Open
Bugan?
Muffin to book passage on a ship there that could take us over. In the process of doing that, I have to stop a few places to fulfill a couple other duties along the way. That's why we were headed to Open Muffin.
Yeah, because you gotta get the corpse flower and all that.
Yeah, the corpse flower, and we left part of our party in Rheindorf.
Yeah, we immediately talked about that earlier tonight.
Yeah, so we've got to kind of pick up like our mounts and other stuff that was left behind there. And as Joe would have explained to everybody, there is the potential that we have somebody who knows how to get there quite well, that sails that way all the time, that we might be able to get to pick us up along the coast there.
If you arrive in a timely fashion.
Well, as I was trying to explain to him, but I didn't want to upset him, they were going to leave a week from Blessagen, or I can't read it from this far away.
Michigan, yeah.
Yeah. If they were going to leave there and they're willing to go north, I mean, that would set them back a little bit. But doesn't that mean that it would give us a little bit longer than a week before they would arrive in Open Muffin?
It's assuming it takes you only that long to get there.
I know. and it's I'm looking at it as a if we can do it, great. But if not, we'll just have to find somebody else who can take us over there.
Okay.
Because I'll be honest, if they're not able to pick us up, then I don't have to talk to the lady about his business either.
Tisk tisk.
Yeah. So I'm just pointing out I could see vast positives either way.
So as we roll up to black, as you guys arrive to attempt to fill out your paperwork, the guild hall, the door itself is collapsed in. Most of the front of the structure appeared to have had a considerable amount of weight placed upon it. There are still smear marks from fetid bodies being drawn away. Currently in the front is a very unhappy cleaning crew slowly working their way through the wreckage. And that is what you approach to. And that's where we will pick up. Whenever we have a chance to pick up, because, yeah, 'tis the season!
Oh, I didn't even notice it was midnight.